Hi, everyone. Louise Cooke coming to you from Roots Tech 2016. And joining me is another cook, Lacey Cooke. Hi, Lacey.
Hi.
Lacey Cooke, can you tell? She's my daughter.
No resemblance.
I know. And she is the newest member of Genealogy Gems. We are so excited. You can imagine I've been twisting some arms for a couple of years now. And this year, starting January 2016, Lacey joined full time. And you'll be hearing a lot more from her. Do you remember back when we did a webinar on newspaper research? Gosh, 5 years ago.
Long time ago, yeah.
And so you might have heard her if you've been around with Genealogy Gems for a while. But I'm kind of interested. I invited her here because, one, it's our only chance to talk all day long. But two, I'd love to hear what you think about Roots Tech. This is your first time.
This is my first Roots Tech. I've been to many a conference and seminar with you, but I've never actually done the Roots Tech. So this is exciting, and it's definitely a little overwhelming almost. There's so much. It's more than I ever expected there would be.
Yeah. And people have been asking me because, one, they see you and they go, oh, okay, that's got to be her daughter.
Or they think I am you.
I only wish. But,
no, they do. They walk up and they're like, Lisa.
Wonderful. Well, it makes it easy, right? Branding. Right. I'm curious. We've been talking a little bit about kind of what's tweaked for you, what's changed in the last couple of months. And I was thrilled that you were kind of seemingly getting more interested in family history. And I'd love to have you talk a little bit about that because people all have unique stories about what kind of triggers an interest in genealogy or family history.
Right. And I've been with Genealogy Gems for many years part-time, and I've always been interested in the business side of things.
Right.
You know, it's fun to travel, see new places. But for me, I think it was last year when my grandmother died on Daddy's side. And we were at her memorial service, and in her little biography that she'd written about herself, she mentioned where she went to school for college, and she mentioned what sorority she was in. And I said, why did I never ask? Because when I was picking colleges, when I was picking a sorority, it would have been so cool to be a legacy. And it didn't matter to me at the time, so the light bulb kind of went off. Wow, it would have been nice to know, and
that you had that connection with her that you didn't even know you had.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, it's interesting. Tomorrow's my birthday.
Yes.
And this morning we had breakfast, and Lacey surprised me and said, "I have to give this to you now because you might want to talk about it when you're running around at Roots Tech." And oh my gosh, what is it? And I don't know if you can tell, but it's this little bracelet on my wrist. And when she gave it to me, it said "Mother." And you wrote a wonderful little card, which I just want to cry and lose my mascara. But I'm looking at the mother, and it looks like handwriting. And she says, "Do you recognize the handwriting?" And I looked, and I realized that's my grandmother Burkett's handwriting. She's the one who really got me interested at first in family history.
And that's the story we grew up hearing, was the story you told about when you were with your grandmother, and you asked her about the family, and she sat down and she wrote it down for you. I mean, that's the story. So I knew that was important.
So little did I know you were rifling through my closets looking for, she got this handwriting of the word mother out of a diary.
Yes, she had several diaries that she'd kept for while she was in nursing school, and I just pored over them at 1 o'clock in the morning when I was staying at your house. Like, I think it was over Christmas.
Yeah.
Trying to be quiet because I didn't want you to hear me going through the boxes.
What are you doing messing up my genealogy?
I looked and I took pictures of a couple different words I thought might work, and then I saw that one, and I was like, okay, there's so many layers of connections now with that word. So.
Well, what I love about it is, I mean, obviously it's a winner with me because I love family history, but this actually could be turned the other way and given to somebody who hasn't already been bitten by the bug. And I'm curious, you're basically a millennial, a little bit past millennial, and you're new, basically, to genealogy because I've been doing all the research. What do you think would trigger the interest of young people today? A lot of people who are watching have kids, grandkids, great-grandkids, and they would love to get their interest in what they're doing.
Absolutely. For me, when Grandma passed, I was kind of wishing, I wish I had some heirlooms or something that was hers, and I was looking through all the belongings, and I was like, what stands out to me, and what can I hang on to and cherish? So that was part of my thought with that was something that you could pass down to other women in the family. But I think millennials, people my age, and it's impressive to see so many of them here, more than I thought.
A lot.
I think for us, it's just because you're telling a story about the family, and maybe we're not totally engaged and totally interested, and you might get the eye roll, it doesn't mean we're not hearing it. And it doesn't mean that 5 years later, there won't be a moment where like, oh yeah, you said grandma was into that, or you said grandma lived there. That means something to me. So my whole thing is don't give up. Even though they look like they're not listening, don't give up. And keep it short. Tell one cool story about a cool ancestor who helped invent something or who lived in a really exotic place, because that'll capture interest, and that's something that younger person can share, because it's all about sharing, right?
That's what she was saying. It's all about sharing. So we have to convert our passion for all the details into a unique, shareable moment.
You gotta bait them with something really cool to discover. So the rest of it is like, oh, there could be more cool stuff like that out there.
I remember you were telling me you were watching something on TV or something. And the guy said, oh, if you can't share it on Facebook, it didn't really happen.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. Oh, it's not true. But Lacey, thank you so much for meeting everybody here on YouTube.
Yes.
You're going to see more of her, and you're going to see more of her at Genealogy Gems, and hopefully we'll see more of you at all the conferences coming up in the coming year. In the meantime, would you stay in touch with us? And down below this video is a subscribe button. Click it, and we'll let you know when our next new video comes out, okay? Thank you.